Looking for spring baking inspiration? We found it. Pastry chef and cookbook author Anna Olson has some delicious ideas, and we're going to get right into making them.
Yes, I wanted us to talk about bars and squares a little bit. So they're the easy bars and squares that you pick up and eat, and I like that you control the portion. So
you can make a big one or a little.
Throw it in the pan and then deciding how big to cut your portions. I've got confetti shortbread bars, which kind of taste like birthday cake, travel well, hot chocolate Nanaimo bars. But what I really wanted us to focus on is this dessert bar. So this is a bar you eat with a fork, my blueberry cheesecake bars.
Okay.
So I'm going to get you started right away, Annette. We've started the streusel by combining flour with a little bit of brown sugar and white sugar.
Okay, so that's where the color comes from in here.
And
is
you're
this pastry flour or just flour?
Just regular all-purpose flour. In fact, that brings up a good point. You could sub in gluten-free flour.
Okay.
Because the streusel adapts well to gluten-free baking. We want to throw in a little cinnamon and a little bit of salt. All of that has been measured for you. And then we've already cut up our butter, and it's at room temperature. So if you use melted butter to make a streusel, and you might do that to put on top of maybe blueberry muffins, it's going to be very coarse and chunky and too crunchy for this bar. So we're using room temperature butter.
Should I put it all in at once?
Yeah, you can just, and you'll just twist the pastry blender to work in the pieces. You'll find the butter sticks to the blender as you start working it. If you wanted to, you could put everything in a food processor, but I would recommend using cold butter because that blade works really fast.
And it will heat it up?
And it will heat it up, and it will make, even when you're done blending in the butter, it's not like making a pie pastry. You have to worry about, oh, have I overworked it or underworked it? It will not come together. It will be dry and crumbly. And you press 2/3 of that into your 9-inch square pan.
Okay.
So you keep working. I'm just going to talk my way through this while you do all the work here.
Am I doing this until it looks like a pie crust?
It won't. It'll stay dry and crumbly, but when you no longer see big pieces of butter, then you want to pre-bake this. So at 350, this takes about 25 minutes. It's essentially like shortbread.
Okay.
This is your base for your cheesecake because I am making essentially a full cheesecake recipe and putting it into a square pan.
And you don't have to worry if it cracks on the top.
You don't, because you're saving some of the streusel to put on top, and that sort of absorbs and moves with the cheesecake. And I've got the filling started here, Annette, with my cream cheese, and you can pull out the electric beaters, but it's a simple enough recipe you can do it by hand. So if you're new to baking, you don't need fancy tools for this.
Okay.
I've softened that with, again, I used a combination of brown sugar and white sugar.
So is this kind of good here, how I have it?
I would keep going, just a little bit more.
I know.
I am going to add to my cheesecake filling a little bit of flour. And if you're going gluten-free, replace that flour with cornstarch.
Yeah.
And I do like adding sour cream to a cheesecake filling. It's going to make it nice and silky. The flour helps the cheesecake really hold its shape because unlike a conventional cheesecake, you want to get smaller, clean slices.
Yes.
And as you can see, you get nice straight cuts with this cheesecake batter. And then I'll add vanilla. You know what, Annette? That is perfect.
Yay! Oh, perfect from Anna Olson.
Yes.
Baking goals achieved.
So you can put some of that into your pan, about 2/3. You don't have to measure it precisely. And after I've added my vanilla, I'm going to add my 3 eggs to the batter so it becomes really quite fluid. Now, a key tip with this recipe, and I learned the hard way, the first time I was playing with this recipe, I stirred my blueberries into the cheesecake filling, and then what happened?
Everything's purple.
Well, it came out, I used fresh blueberries, which I do recommend. They all sank to the bottom as the cheesecake slowly baked.
Oh, okay.
So I realized what you have to do is put your filling into the pan, and then you put the fruit on top.
Okay.
So I'm showcasing blueberries here, but now that hothouse rhubarb season is upon us, you could easily use some diced fresh rhubarb.
Cherries when they come in season, plums.
I do recommend for this recipe using fresh simply because if you use frozen, once it thaws, it gets a little watery.
Yeah.
And you could end up with pockets of moisture inside your cheesecake.
We've got about 45 seconds left.
Okay, well, I'm gonna spread an even layer of blueberries on top, and then let's take the rest of this streusel.
Okay.
It's optional if you want, but stir in those almonds.
Okay.
So I don't bother putting them on the crust.
On top.
And then, yeah, and those sliced almonds toast along with the streusel. But you have to give this a lot of time. So just like a regular cheesecake, this now will spend an hour in the oven. Half an hour at 350, you turn it down, half an hour at 325.
Okay, and we've got the recipes on our website. Thank you.
Oh, a pleasure.
Am I getting it okay?
You've got it. And a little dusting of icing sugar.